Hi Tarot Bumblebees, it's Ethany and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorites from 2020. Now these favorites are books and decks. So I've got tarot books, fiction books, like fun books, and my favorite tarot and oracle decks. Now this list is not exhaustive, it's just a few categories of items that I use quite regularly, and it doesn't reflect everything that I've used or read this year. These are just some things that really made an impact and that I wanted to share with you. So let's jump in and you can see some of my favorites for 2020. The first category are tarot decks. So my favorite tarot decks of 2020 are the Modern Love Tarot. Now this should not be a surprise to anybody. I've been working super hard on all the new decks and this came right at the finish line of 2020, and I've been in love with this the entire time I've been working with it and designing it, and I'm thrilled with how it looks. There is an unboxing on my channel already, so you can go and check it out, but it is just, she's lovely. This deck was designed for tarot readers in mind because, as many of us know, love is lots of the time on people's brains, and it is there for you to really get to know the many facets of love and how love plays out in people's lives. And you know, if your own tarot babies aren't on a list of favorites the year that you release them, then I don't know what you're doing wrong. So the Modern Love Tarot is definitely one of my favorites. The second favorite tarot deck of 2020 is the Dark Wood Tarot by the very talented Sasha Graham. I was introduced to this deck at Reader's Studio in 2019 and I pre-ordered it. It is pretty. I haven't actually unboxed this because I ran out of time this year, but the book is full colored, so pretty. The box is lovely and sturdy, and it has a very sort of gothic, this is called the Dark Disney deck, which I really think works really well with it. It's just a really lovely deck. I think it's kind of got this, if anyone's seen The Dark Cauldron, which is a Disney movie, it kind of has the same kind of vibe. And this was also the same artist who did the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot, and it's really beautiful. The only one tiny little thing that I don't like about it is I think the backs in the middle could have had a really cute cabochon design instead of the DW, the dark wood. But you know, that is like the smallest little nitpick. Like, look how cute it is. Like, even the borders go all the way around. It's just a really beautiful little deck. And it was one of those things where I picked it up and I was instantly teleported to this like really cool wood and all these really lovely, more gothic fairy tales. And it's just very, very much my vibe. So this was a very different deck and I really love it. So that's one of my favorites. The next favorite tarot deck is the Tarot of the Divine. Oh, everything about this deck is stunning. The box is stunning. The artwork is stunning. I followed Yoshi on Instagram since I saw the very first card and I was literally drooling to get this. Now the full companion book, because this does come with a little booklet, but the full companion book with all of the fairy tales and myths from around the world is a separate book and it's in my cart, but I haven't purchased it yet. But this is simply beautiful. The color palette, the design in this is gorgeous. Now, Yoshi has worked for like Disney and all sorts. You can tell with the simply superb level that this deck is. Now, I haven't unboxed this one either. This is so gorgeous. I love that there is a clear color palette throughout the entire deck. And I love that it's all about fairy tales and different myths from around the world. You can just watch Ethany struggle to hold cards. It's so beautiful. It's so, so beautiful. I mean, like, I can't, like the Sword and the Stone. It's just, I love this deck so much. I haven't been able to spend a ton of time with it, but there are plenty of unboxings that you can go and check out on YouTube, but it was just something that I instantly opened and fell in love with. Like, I don't know how else to like explain how much I love this deck. And I really love the art style. I think Yoshi's done the most amazing job. So that is the Tarot of the Divine. Look at the backs. The blues are so pretty. Oh, it's like we match. So this was definitely one of my favorites. The guidebook is colored. It is little, like it's a little book, but at least gives you enough that if you don't have the big companion book, you can at least look up like the boy and the dragon pearl. You could Google that and find a bit more about information about the actual myth. And it has, this is more about the tarot cards and less about the myths. So the Tarot of the Divine is perfection and I love it. The final tarot deck for my favorites for 2020 is the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. And I was not expecting to be as blown away by this deck as I was. It is a completely new system in regards to the tarot archetypes in the order. So it does divert from the Rider-Waite-Smith, but the artwork is so beautiful. I can't even. And Danielle Barlow has done the most amazing job. When I opened it, I wondered to myself, why is this artwork so familiar? And it's because Danielle did the Green Wheel Oracle deck, and it's one of my favorite Oracle decks. So of course I love this as well. There's a beautiful book, and there will be an unboxing coming soon to my channel. You even get a little pouch inside, and it's a bigger deck for sure, but it is just so gorgeous. The detail in these watercolor paintings is so beautiful, and I'm really, really looking forward to getting to know this deck and what Phyllis has written about it and working with a deck that is a different system. As a matter of fact, I want to use this as my own personal deck because I use decks that aren't like traditional, so that I can learn something new about myself and do lots of sort of introspection. It is meant to be for, you know, witches and pagans, and it is just, it's simply gorgeous. So if you haven't checked this out, this is one of my total favorites this year, and it is a beauty. Now I'm going to share my favorite tarot books for the year. My first favorite is from my friend and author, Teresa Reed. It's Tarot, No Questions Asked. Honestly, anything that she writes, I go and get. I have her astrology books, I have her tarot books, and this is another fantastic addition to the tarot world. Teresa is just, she's great. She's everything. I love it. It gives you heaps to go into. There's tarot sizes and, you know, little exercises. There's journaling ideas. She goes into every card. I love her. I love this book. Go get it. It was one of my favorites for 2020. The next favorite is The Bestiary, and this is by Mia Toll. I just went through this for the stocking stuffers, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I fell in love with this. The second I picked it up, I couldn't put it back down again. It's the artwork, even as just like a visual book to go through while you're like sipping your coffee or tea, and then the cards come in the back. And I just love it. Now my cards are out of the pouch. They're actually on my reading altar at home. But it's just so beautiful. It would be a really cute little one to go through with your kids as well if you had magical kids, because it's got beautiful images and they can learn about different animals, and it's really accessible, but it's just an absolute candy for the eyes. It's absolutely gorgeous. So that is The Bestiary by Mia Toll. And I'm kind of debating whether I want the deluxe version of all of these as well. My next favorite tarot book is Tarot and the Gates of Light. Now this is a chunky monkey. This is by Mark Horn, and this is really working with the Kabbalah and tarot. So, all right, everybody, this is a read. Like, this is a study book, and I love actually learning new things and understanding different perspectives on tarot and life. And there's like a daily rituals, there's daily practices there. It's just, you know, you go through each one of these things, and it's just, it's so well done. This is someone who has done an exquisite amount of research and really knows their stuff. So if you're looking to understand tarot and the Kabbalah in regards to how they work together, go and get this book. It was one of my favorites for 2020. So my final book for favorite tarot books is from my Muses of Tarot. Now it comes as a guidebook and deck set. So there's a deck in here, but I'm super proud of this guidebook. The guidebook is, she's something special. So in this guidebook, which is full color, you get to meet each one of the 13 tarot muses. and each one has their own section and all the tarot cards as well. So Holistics is one of the muses. She's the muse of healing and health readings, and it's all based on different types of readings. And then you've got the tarot cards of each, whoops, let me just dropped out of there. The tarot cards of Holistics, her invocation for working with her and her release, her altar, her chakras, correspondences, and then also a tarot spread with working with her. So you have that for every single one of the muses. And I just really love this book, and you can also use it to get to know your tarot cards in a brand new way. Isn't it funny that what fell out was my Your Tarot Card bookmark? It can't be technically in this list because it was technically out in 2019, so I can't really put it in here, but I feel like she was sneakily coming in here. So this was my book last year. So if you don't have it, you should also get that too. Okay, so now it is my favorite oracle decks, and you probably have got no shocks that the first one is my new deck, the Modern Goddess Oracle. This is another one of the decks that released in 2020, and this deck has been 3 years in the making, and I kid you not. So to hold it in my hands was such a thing. So with the Oracle, you get a beautiful, fully colored guidebook to tell you how to work with the goddess, heal with the goddess, and the archetypes that are inside. You know how much I love a shiny bag. And then we go through the goddesses, and they're from all over the world. And I'm really, really proud of this deck. And a lot of these goddesses are goddesses that I actually work with my coven. So not only do I get to get up close and personal with a lot of these goddesses, but I've worked with a lot of them as well. So the Modern Goddess, it's basically like re-envisioning how these goddesses would look and fit into modern day life. The next favorite for 2020 is one that I got this year, and it is the Shine from the Inside Oracle by Brittany Carmichael. I love anything that's shiny, and I also love all of the pastels in it. The backs are super cute. It's a really lovely deck. And again, these pastels kill me because I just think they are so beautiful. So it's a deck that I really, really enjoyed discovering and working with in 2020. And there is an unboxing of this if you want to go check it out on my channel. It's really sweet. I wish I could have hair like that, but let's be honest, it would be that color for like a week. So it is a really, really lovely little deck. My next deck on my oracle list is the I Don't Care. I love it. This deck has just got, I don't know, we vibe. It's like the right attitude. It's like, I love anything that's a little bit sassy, and this deck is sassy. It reads really well. It's really cute. It's just really adorable. It's something that really fits my vibe. I have an unboxing of this as well on my channel, but it was one of my favorites this year for sure. I found myself going to this deck over and over and over again. So the I Don't Care Oracle. The next Oracle deck on my favorites list for 2020 is the New Orleans Oracle deck, and I met the creator Fatima at Northwest Tarot Symposium this year, right before all the COVID madness happened and the borders closed. And I was so glad I got to meet her, and I snapped up this deck immediately, and I love it. It's bright and really easy to read, and it's just so vibrant, and I just think it's the sweetest. There is also an unboxing of this one, but it was definitely a very easy favorite for 2020. And we all needed some favorites right this year. We needed some things to get us through this year. And this is a lovely, lovely deck. Alrighty, so the final little category is one of my favorites. These are fun books or fiction books. The first fiction book is Hollowpox. Now, if you like Harry Potter, if you like any magical kind of books and you haven't read the Nevermoor series, what have you been doing with your friggin' life? This is by Jessica Townsend. This is an Australian author. I wish they would hurry the fuck up and make the TV series or the movie or whatever it's been in the works. So bloody good. This is the third one. So the first one is called Nevermoor, The Trials of Morrigan Crow. This is the third one called Hollowpox. And the similarities to what is going on in the world of Nevermoor versus what happened in 2020 was eerily scary. And I think she wrote this like not in 2020. So it was kind of it was definitely very eerie. Check it out. Honestly, I could go on all day about these books. These books are so good, and I might even say better than the Harry Potter series. I said it. They're really good. So the first one again is The Trials of Morrigan Crow, Jessica Townsend, Australian author. Do yourself a favor, get this book. My next pick for favorite fiction books, I don't actually have, and there's a reason. It's called The Two Lost Mountains by Matthew Riley. He's an Australian author, and it's under my Christmas tree. I know this because it's not out in North America until May next year. So my friend in Australia sent it to me for my Christmas present. But this is the fourth book in the series. Or yes, the fourth book in the series. It is the Jack West thriller series, and I love Matthew Riley. I've read everything of his. They're really fun. You like escapism sort of things. It's very Indiana Jones. It's really, really, really fun. And the first one is The Seven Ancient Wonders, and you should be reading these if you like a fun fiction book. There's a bit of mythology in it and some like really cool ancient stuff, and I think that's another reason why I really like it. Plus the main guy, Jack, he's Australian and it's got like a lot of Australiana sort of stuff in it. So the one that I wanted to be holding up is called The Two Lost Mountains, but it's not out here yet in North America. But the Jack West Jr. series, go get it. And my final favorite for 2020 of fun book / fiction is, of course, Trixie and Katya's Guide to Modern Womanhood. Oh my God, I love them so much. This is such a fun book. I love them. I love their podcast. And I, of course, like had to go out and buy this book. The photography in this book alone is so exceptional. And if anyone knows me like an ounce well, will know that I love drag queens. Are you a poor? The photography is so great and it's just so fun. They talk about love, money, business. It's just like travel. Honestly, it's just so much fun. And who doesn't want to support some fabulous drag queens? So this book was one of my favorites. All right, my lovelies, that was my list. I know it might have seemed a little bit random, but those are some of my favorites for 2020. What were some of your favorites that you either purchased or received this year? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you all next time.